My name is Cole Thompson. I have stage 4 Ewing sarcoma right now, but I'm living with it just fine.
Cole was a happy baby. He didn't cry a lot. He was a good baby.
He's an awesome kid. He gives us so much to be proud of. We do a lot of camping and canoeing and stuff, so he loves getting out there in the outdoors. He loves music. He's super smart, and he's always been so smart.
When he started middle school, he wanted to join band, and that's when he got his first trombone.
I wanted to play the trumpet, but I couldn't make any noise on a trumpet. And I grabbed a trombone, and it worked just fine with me. Whenever I got into high school, I was able to do band camp. And going to band camp was the best experience I've ever had in my entire life. And I found out that learning new music is like my biggest passion ever.
He can go on about music, and it sounds like he's speaking another language. I mean, he goes into the tempos. A song could come on the radio, and he's like, "Oh, this one's in 5/4," and things we, most of us just don't even understand about a song.
At school, Cole is the drum major. He takes marching band. He's in music theory. He's in concert band.
Watch him perform, it's a very proud moment for me. I'm just beaming, grinning ear to ear. And especially when he gets up there as drum major, they stand in a platform above the whole band, and just all that energy is focused on him, and he's just beaming it right back at him. You can see how much he loves the whole experience.
We were at a football game, and he fell because it had rained. He fell on the bleachers. So then a couple of days later, he said his arm hurt. But we just figured that it was something to do with the fall.
And then one day, he came out of the bathroom, and he said, "Dad, my shoulder blade is swollen." And he showed me it, and there was a mound. I wouldn't call it a lump. It was the size of my fist where his shoulder blade was swollen up.
It was right a week after the COVID lockdowns happened. I found out that there was something going on because my shoulder had swelled. And I went and got an MRI.
Then the pandemic really picked up. You can imagine all the doctors and clinics and everything just were overwhelmed. Finally got through to him. It was probably almost a month later. But the nurse on the phone called the MRI place, got the results back.
When we finally got it, they said it was bursitis. And we had to go see another doctor. And when we went to see another doctor, he said it wasn't bursitis.
My wife and Cole went for a CT scan. And while they were on their way back, I was by myself here, and I got a call from the doctor. And he told me, "We haven't biopsied yet, but we're certain this is Ewing sarcoma." And so I sat here another hour. I definitely didn't want to call them and tell them on the phone this. Waiting for them to come home, knowing that I was the one that was going to have to deliver the news. It was the longest hour.
Me and Cole came in, and Aaron said the doctor just called, and it's cancer. I sat down on the couch and I started crying, and Cole said, I'm only 16. He was crying. And we just hugged him and told him it was going to be okay.
Getting treated for cancer while there was a global pandemic happening was really, really hard on my mental health. I was constantly being hospitalized. Every 2 weeks I would go in the hospital and stay for a whole week. And I couldn't have any visitors. Whenever I was getting radiation and chemotherapy at the same time, I had to take ambulance trips from the hospital to the radiation clinic back and forth every single day that I was staying. and that was just exhausting. I was always sleeping. I never had energy to get up and move around, and I just felt sick constantly. There was never a time where I didn't feel nauseous or in pain. A lot of times I would bring my guitar and my trombone. I taught myself to play the guitar while I was in the hospital. That was really helpful, having something to focus on, having music to focus on. The music therapist would come in sometimes and play music with me, and that was really awesome.
After his initial 9 months of treatment, he was cleared, and we had 3 months where we were done with this. We were free of it. At the 6-month scan was when we spoke to the doctor. He had multiple tumors in his lungs again. He was told that this is typically how Ewing's goes. If it's not knocked out in the first round, if it's spread beyond the initial tumor site, it doesn't go away. It responds to chemo, but it just keeps coming back.
Cole has stayed positive. He still keeps doing what he loves to do. He keeps going on.
One of the nurses asked him if he had spoke to Make-A-Wish. We hadn't really thought about it too much, but she told him, "You've gone through all of this. You've taken all the bad. You should get to enjoy some of the good."
A few months later, I got emails, and that was very exciting. We started the whole process. I was worried to ask for something too expensive because I felt bad, but the people at Make-A-Wish are very helpful. They were bouncing ideas off with me, talking about trips and things that I would like, what kind of events I like to go to, and so that was a lot of fun.
Cole's wish was, totally Cole. It was a trombone. The trombone he wanted wasn't just any trombone. It was a high-end trombone. The best you can get, basically.
That trombone, I never would have been able to afford on my own. It's an incredible instrument.
Make-A-Wish set up a great surprise at the Philharmonic to be presented with his trombone.
I was told that my dad's boss had bought tickets to the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra, but something had come up and he couldn't go. And I was just very, very excited to see the orchestra perform.
He was telling us about proper etiquette for a concert, for this style of concert, and we're gonna dress nice, and we're not gonna do anything silly to embarrass him.
After the first piece that they played, the band director turned around and started talking and said, "We have a very special person here tonight." And he said my name, and I was astonished. I couldn't believe it. I got to meet their entire low brass section, and I was presented by their lead trombonist, my brand new trombone, and he took me back and offered me free private lessons, and it was just an amazing experience.
It was awesome to see my kid up there on stage getting this wish.
This is an instrument that he's going to have with him for the rest of his life. He's going to be able to use this in any setting, from beginner to professional. It's pretty much the best trombone he could ever get.
I've played my trombone pretty much every single day. In the future, I want to be a high school band director. I want to write marching band shows and watch and help people find a love for music just like I have. And I want people to have a home at school in the band room like I've found. Having cancer, I'm not more sad. I've kind of just accepted. I take every single day by the day. I like to live in the moment, and I don't like to think maybe something will happen in the future, because the future isn't here and nothing's happening right now. And so I just try to be as happy as I can be right now, because right now will never come again.
For something like Make-A-Wish to come into your life in the middle of this and to grant you this moment of joy, this amazing memory, that's the greatest thing you could give.